Well, let's count down to the caucuses, everyone. Just 8 more days until Iowa hosts the first formal vote of the presidential season. For candidates, it's a critical test. Momentum can be seized or squandered. Our next guest can tip the scales. Steve Deace is the host of a syndicated talk radio show. He endorsed Mike Huckabee in 2008, Steve Deace. And a lot of people believe that helped Huckabee win the Iowa caucuses. And he joins me now live from Des Moines. Hi there, Steve Deace. Who are you endorsing this time round?
You know what? I'll tell you when I figure it out. I'm just as undecided as a lot of the voters are, and I think I'm ready to endorse Hute Bokporum. Maybe I could take a little bit from each of the candidates that I like, come up with the perfect alternative to Barack Obama, and we can call it a day. But I think a lot of people, myself included, they see things they like in almost all of the candidates, which makes the decision-making process more difficult.
Okay, but you must be leaning toward one of the candidates, no?
I would say I'd be leaning towards a few candidates. You know, there's things I like about Michelle Bachmann, Rick Santorum, Newt Gingrich, and Ron Paul. I really haven't had a chance to get to know Rick Perry very much. I think maybe his campaign has done him a really a disservice in Iowa. He got off to a bad start, but his television ads that he's running now are a big hit with people. I do think they've helped him rehabilitate his image after a month and a half of serious debate gaffes.
So you just mentioned Rick Perry. Now tomorrow you're hosting a pro-life. This is going to be, I understand, on the radio and on TV. It's called a pro-life town hall meeting. Now, who is attending this? Who will take part in this?
Michelle Bachmann will be there along with Rick Santorum, Rick Perry, and Newt Gingrich. So we will have 4 of the Republican candidates taking questions from pro-life activists and voters around the country on my show.
And how important will it be, do you think? I mean, I imagine you're going to tell me it's going to be important since it's your program. But historically it has been, though. Who you decide to endorse has had an impact. So will this have a big impact?
I think it'll have an impact on my decision-making process like it will most Iowans. Keep in mind that the pro-life vote in Iowa is the most loyal voting bloc in the Iowa caucuses. So they are definitely going to come out in mass. What we don't know is if they will come out in mass for one candidate, like they did Mike Huckabee 4 years ago, or whether or not we will see them splintered among several candidates as the polls currently show.
Okay. You don't like Mitt Romney much, do you? You told the Des Moines Register, I would need to hear the audible voice of God telling me to vote for Mitt Romney to go in that direction. What don't you like about Mitt Romney, and why would God have to enter the picture and tell you who to vote for at this stage?
Well, to me, I think elections ought to be about candidates who have differences with one another. And as Donald Wildman of the American Family Association put it on my show just last week, if Mitt Romney's the nominee, it's Obama versus Obama light. I mean, he beat Obama to government-enforced health care, $50 taxpayer-funded abortions. He did not stand up to the Massachusetts court when they destroyed marriage in that state. And his record of opposing Reagan Bush, the Bush tax cuts, he was for amnesty, he was for gun control. I mean, do you have an hour? I mean, we can continue. I mean, this guy really is the quintessential Rockefeller Republican.
All right. Let me ask, so is he invited to this pro-life town hall, or is he not invited then?
The folks that are sponsoring this, Personhood USA, they invited all of the presidential candidates, and the 4 that I mentioned earlier, Gingrich, Bachmann, Santorum, and Perry, those are the 4 that RSVP'd.
Steve Deace, thanks very much, joining us live from Des Moines, Iowa, 8 days from the caucuses.